imagined things would end like this. Not with her. I'm a woman in my late 20s, and for the past couple of years, I've been in a long-distance relationship with another woman a bit younger than me. It started off wonderfully, like the kind of romance that pulls you out of your loneliness and wraps you in comfort. We lived in different cities, but I didn't care. I made sacrifices to be with her. Time, money, energy, none of it mattered, as long as I could see her smile at the end of a long journey. I'm asexual. It's always been something I've been honest about. From the start, I told her what I was and how I experience relationships. She said she was okay with it. She insisted. I even told her directly if her physical needs ever outweighed what I could offer, she was free to be open about that, to pursue something physical elsewhere. I said I wouldn't hold it against her. I only asked for honesty. She always told me she didn't need that I was enough. I believed her. This is difficult to write. I've always kept parts of myself hidden, but today I want to tell everything. Maybe not with names or cities, but with truth. Maybe just to get it off my chest. We didn't get to see each other often. When we did, it meant rearranging my whole life to make it happen. I would take time off work, budget carefully to afford the tickets, and plan the trip just to stay a few days. Sometimes I'd return home completely drained, both emotionally and financially, but I didn't care. Love, right? You give and you give more. And for a while, it felt like I was giving it to the right person. I've got mental health challenges. Nothing out of control, but enough that it makes some days really difficult. She was supportive, at least I thought she was. She encouraged me, talked me through the harder moments, and made me feel like I wasn't broken. She called me brave for fighting through it. She said I was strong. Again, I believed her. And now I'm sitting here numb, thinking about how far from the truth I really was. The diary. It started like any other morning. She had gone out to run a few errands while I stayed back to clean up around her apartment. I wasn't snooping. I want to be clear about that. I was tidying up, organizing books, wiping surfaces, folding blankets, just trying to be useful. That's when I saw it. A small notebook left open on her desk, beside a couple of receipts. At first glance, I thought it was some budgeting log. I picked it up to close it and put it away, and then my eyes caught a sentence. I don't even remember the exact words now, but I'll never forget how they made me feel. Confused, shocked, betrayed, scared. It was a diary. Her diary. I should have put it down. I know that. It wasn't mine to read, and maybe in another reality I would have dropped it immediately and walked away. But humans are curious, and when the first thing you read is a venom-laced line about yourself, not just an action or mistake, you can't just pretend it didn't happen. So I read. I read more than I should have. I devoured every word like it was a crime scene, trying to piece together the moment everything went wrong, trying to understand if I ever truly knew the person I loved. She called me stupid. More than once. She said I was disrespectful of her feelings and needs, that I was oblivious and selfish, that she expected we'd get into a fight soon, and she was preparing to manipulate the outcome in her favor, that she was twisting reality to paint herself as the wounded one, strategizing, planning. She mocked my mental health struggles. She wrote that she resented how much she had to do to help me, and how I never appreciated her efforts, that I was emotionally exhausting. She called my asexuality a burden, that she couldn't stand it, that it was ruining everything, that she didn't know how much longer she could fake being okay with it, and worst of all, she already had someone else in mind, someone she was eyeing as a possible replacement after she'd gotten tired enough of me. It was like a knife in the chest, but not sharp, dull, twisting. I couldn't even cry. I still haven't cried. I just went cold, as if my emotions were vacuumed out of me in an instant. The decision. She came home later, and acted as though nothing had happened. She smiled, kissed my cheek, asked me about lunch, and I responded. I played along, because I didn't have the strength to confront her. I just couldn't. We were supposed to go to an event that afternoon. She had begged me to go. I bought tickets weeks ago. It was something she had really looked forward to. I considered not going, but then what? Start a fight? Cause a scene? I had no energy for any of it. So I smiled back, got dressed, and we left for the event. I stood in a crowd full of strangers, listening to music, trying to laugh and chat with people around me, and all the while she held my hand and leaned into me like she loved me, like she wasn't lying every second. I wanted to scream. I wanted to vomit. That night, I told her I was exhausted and needed to sleep on the sofa. She was confused, even a little hurt, but didn't fight it. I curled up alone, wide awake, counting the hours until I could leave. Today, it's morning now. She's still asleep, and I haven't woken her like she asked me to. My train leaves in 7 hours. I've already packed my things. I haven't spoken a word to her since last night. I'm going to leave, go home and block her on everything. I won't write a goodbye message. I won't explain myself. She doesn't deserve the courtesy of closure. She had closure written out in her diary already, long before I even suspected anything. There was a moment yesterday when she asked me to buy her a souvenir from the festival. She made a big show of being short on cash, claimed she had less than a third of the amount.
I watched her hide her wallet, stage the moment, manipulate the situation, and I still gave her the money. I don't know why. Part of me, maybe the last part, still clinging to what I thought we had, just wanted to be kind, even if it meant being stupid. Reflection. A few people might say, well, it was just a diary. People vent. Maybe she didn't mean it. To those people, I understand where you're coming from. But this wasn't a vent. It wasn't a page of frustration or confusion. It was a detailed, premeditated account of how she planned to destroy my trust, how she viewed me as pathetic and inconvenient. She had written about multiple past visits, reframing sweet memories into moments of misery. If someone can rewire your shared joys into burdens in their private mind, that's not venting. That's revealing who they are. I used to think I was hard to love because of who I am, because I'm ace, because I struggle mentally. But now I'm starting to see I just gave my love to someone who didn't deserve it, who never actually valued it. The guilt I feel for reading her diary is real. But it's also small now, because if I hadn't read it, I would have kept trying, kept sacrificing, kept waiting for a day when she'd decide she didn't want me anymore. At least now I know. So this is my confession. Maybe it doesn't make me look good. Maybe I come across as weak or toxic or wrong. But I needed to let it out, somewhere. If you're in a relationship where you feel like you're constantly doubting your worth, ask yourself this: are they loving you back in the way you deserve? Because no matter who you are, ace, struggling, soft, you deserve to be safe in love. I'm not angry anymore. I'm just tired, but I'm free.